Hi, it's Filo, welcome back! It's time to set up December in our bullet journals, and my theme this month is a gallery wall. I know it's a very festive month, but I'm not cold enough to feel the Christmas vibes yet, and I tend to grow tired of this kind of themes very quickly anyway, so this is not a Christmas theme. In fact, it's something you could do pretty much any time of the year. As always, you can find the links to all my supplies down in the description along with my discount codes, but I know there are many new faces here at the end of the year and you want to see how to start your creative bullet journal journey, so I wanted to do a theme accessible to everyone, and I'll only use basic supplies today and we're doodling easy stuff. It's me and my pens, no stickers, no paint, no stamps, a couple of washes at the end because I'm weak, but you absolutely don't need them to recreate this theme. Do it with what you have. But enough rambling. As I was saying, I'm doodling a gallery wall with a few frames alternated with shelves and wooden signs. I wanted it to be reminiscent of my home decor because it's cozy and homey. So on my shelves I have the lantern that really sits on my shelves next to my desk. Below the lantern we have a butterfly, and below that just a few clouds. December is also the start of winter and sweater weather, so I'm adding a stack of sweaters, and on the right a few music notes. And you see me doubt because I don't even remember how many lines I'm supposed to have, and I didn't really check. Of course we need a nice coffee cup, or tea, warm cocoa, whatever floats your boat. I also happen to have a painting of a landscape in the coffee cup above my shelves. And next we have a wheat plant that I also have, and of course books, or it could be journals. I've been bullet journaling for 6 years now, so I'm starting to have a good stack of them. At the top we'll have a wintry landscape, and the wooden signs read Draw, Read and Learn, which are my favorite activities right now. And now let's add the colors. So I kept the same earthy colors I used in November, and I only added a dark brown for contrast, but I like that this theme can be a very nice and natural continuation of my November cats and books theme. It's still very calming and cozy with the same colors, and it's like it's gently leading you towards winter. Apart from the landscape, I didn't really plan where I was going to use which color. I'm just trying to alternate them so that there's not a very dark corner and another light corner. I try and distribute them evenly throughout the illustration. And I'm trying not to think too much, which is really not my thing, but it's very therapeutic. It's like a coloring book. So at the beginning of the video I told you you could do this theme any time of the year, and by that I mean that a gallery wall is very customizable. So of course you could change the colors, but you could also doodle your paintings and trinkets you have at home, or you can do a frame for each month of the year, and there you could doodle an element of your themes along the year, or something related to a nice memory for each month, for example, and that could be like looking at an album of your year. For the plant on the shelves, I didn't even outline it. I just went in with my green marker and dabbed it like that, forming a hanging shape. So this way I kind of break the squareness of the illustration. Oh gosh, that's why I usually write scripts. Anyway, for the title, I went with calligraphy and made it just a bit bouncy. Now you can stop here, but that's a bit minimalist for me maybe, so that's where I added 2 stripes of washi tape at the top and bottom of the page to frame the cover and make it just a bit busier. As you can see, it's not part of the design, so it's totally optional. Now with the monthly spread, I tried to film closer so that you can actually see the mini paintings and trinkets. So starting with the header, it's the same calligraphy style, but this time it's one of the frames in this gallery wall. Then the frames around feature the same elements you saw on the cover. I just slightly vary the shapes of the frames, or for example the paintings inside, and I also add a few new elements. So here for example we find the wheat again, but in the form of a painting instead of the dried plant. Of course we can't not have books or journals, they're everywhere at my place. And I've tried and read ebooks, but I don't seem to be able to remember a word I read in an ebook. I don't know why. And for the journals, I have bullet journals, reading journals, diaries, a sketchbook. It's a lot. I need more shelves. I mean, there are a few books I need to unhaul, but let's face it, I'm going to read more and I'm going to buy more books anyway. And journals, I could never unhaul them. I mean, I know like the first one at least is not really nice, but it's memories. Okay, back to the page. Another thing I like about this theme is that you just doodle anything by itself in each frame. You don't really need to think of a background. It's so small, there's no space for details, so that's great for beginners. But I can hear you in the back saying, but Philo, I need a ruler. I can't draw straight lines. It's gonna look like a 5-year-old did it. And let me tell you, nope. First, if you use a ruler, you'll never get used to drawing straight lines. Second, use dashed lines. It cuts the length, it looks nice. And third, it's wood, it's irregular. Wooden frames are irregular, wooden shelves are irregular. And it's like the overall order in the mess that looks natural and personal. So go for it and keep your white gel pen at hand. I usually start with the functional calendar for the month, but I don't know why this time I was more inspired by the doodles, I guess. So I keep adding decor all around, and since it's the last month of the year, I put wooden signs that say bye bye 2024. And next to it we will have a butterfly painting. And now I'm adding the calendar, finally, the functional aspect of this spread. I want it to be the main focus of the page, but I also want it to be a part of this big gallery wall, so that's why I'm outlining a frame around it. I'm giving it the darkest color in my palette to attract the eye and not lose it among all the other frames. As I usually do, I highlight the weeks with the colors I'm using this month. On the right, I'll have another frame with my main priorities for the month, and since I'm already doodling a lot, I prefer to save time and not use stamps, but write everything at hand. In December, I plan on posting my bullet journal flip-through of the whole year. my setup for 2025, and a theme for January, of course. So it's all very exciting. To keep track of the books I'll read this month, I drew a bookshelf, and I estimate I'll read around 3 to 4 books maybe. I can always add one, but usually I tend to read around 3 books a month, as you know, because then I tell you about them in my reading journal videos every month. By the way, I don't know if I'll be able to post a November reading journal update, because November is being a bit complicated, okay? I hurt my back and had to go to the physio and cry a bit. I also started a new activity, I'll tell you about that later, and I had less time to read. But in the case I don't post a video this time, I'll just group these books with the ones I read in December, and you won't miss a thing. Let's go with the trackers. I'm starting with my habit trackers on the left, with its own frame and its title in calligraphy. I like the effect of using 2 different fonts in November, so I'm doing that again with different fonts this month. Below, I'll have a wooden panel hanging from the wall for each of my habits, and I'm only outlining the shape of the month, and during the month I'll cross the days I do said habit. Now I use the workout tracker for walks too, so in November I put a cross when I went to the gym and a circle when I went for a walk. Also, I did hurt my back at the gym. That would have never happened if I had stayed on my couch, but apparently I live dangerously. What can I say? My work tracker is strange, I know. I don't really have a schedule. I adapt to my clients' availability, and it's December, so who knows? To decorate this spread, I did a painter palette because I started going to drawing classes in November, and I'm super excited. Nothing to do with what I do in my Bujo, okay? Let me get this straight. I don't want you to have expectations. For now, I'm starting with dry pastel. I know nothing. I feel like a 5-year-old. It's very humbling, and I'm having a lot of fun. And my back hurts. The meal planner. That will be the first month of December. I have a meal planner, and I'm curious as to what it's going to look like at the end of the month. I always try to come up with something food related on this page. So here I did a kettle and a coffee cup, or a cocoa cup, or tea, whatever. Though in my case that would probably be cocoa. Other than that, it's very uneventful, probably unlike my meals in December, but there's no more space to fill with doodles, so. The table for the meal planner also has its own frame, and apart from that, it's the same table as last month, except this time I remember to keep a line for the header And it's vertical weeks, full weeks as usual. So here we're starting December 2nd and ending December 29th. I'm adding the last touches to this spread with these washi tape stripes, and let's head over to the weeklies. And now with the first weekly. I'll post shorts for the rest of the weeks, so subscribe and hit the bell if you want to see that. But for this first week, I went with the same vertical layout I did in my November video, except last month I decorated it with a street full of bookshops, and this time it's a gallery wall, of course. So each daily has its own frame, and then I'm going to doodle a few things around in more frames and shelves. And first I'm doing a mini calendar to keep an eye on the important upcoming dates. And then we have more frames with a cloud and a jar of jam or honey, maybe. And wooden panels for the week. And it's already week 49, so it's too late now to reach all the goals I had set up for 2024. But soon I'll set up 2025 in my bullet journal, and I guess I'll rethink my goals for next year. Life happens. Let's adapt. I'm continuing the gallery wall on the right, trying not to make it look symmetrical and keep it interesting. And there we'll have more peaceful landscapes and music notes and dry wheat. And after writing the dates, you only need to add washi tape if you want. Any washi matching your color palette will do. Plain ones are fine. You don't want too many things happening on them. You want to maintain the focus on the frames. That's why I put my beige washi tape farther and hide it a bit under the brown, more plain one on top to tone down the details and cut the straight lines with a more wavy design. And if you don't have any washi, you can simply draw thick lines with your markers and kind of emulate a washi tape. Alright, here is the final flip through of this December bullet journal setup with homey gallery walls. Thank you all for watching. I hope you enjoyed this theme. If you want to see something more Christmassy or in the season, I leave previous year's December videos linked below. I also did a bookish theme the year before. And if you've made it till the end, leave me this emoji and don't forget to like and subscribe for more content like this. I'll post a short for each new week, so make sure to activate the bell. And I wish you a very happy December, and I'll see you soon in the next one. And until then, enjoy planning